So for all the Andrew Tate fans that are out there, you guys are going to love this story because Andrew Tate is back in the news. He's back in action, and he's calling out some names. And one name in particular stands out because I would have never thought of this guy as a fighter or somebody who would be able to box 12 rounds or go into any kind of, combat sports related event. So, that said, what if I told you that Andrew Tate is offering Sneako $1 million to fight him? And guys, the proof is actually real. And I say 1 million loosely. When you total everything up, it's actually around $2 million. That's big money to fight for a social media influencer to fight another social media influencer. Holy schmoly, guys. Like, there's leaked texts, Misfits Boxing contract. There's even a possible rematch clause within the contract that's worth $2 million, guys. And this, when I talk about influencer drama, and when I talk about, two guys who made like tremendous amounts of money and notoriety and fame just on social media platforms, for guys like that to be able to go into the ring against one another, I mean, this is a new age, guys. It's a new world. This is what people want to see. And you know what? This actually could be a thing. And I mean, it's a calculated business move with massive implications to influencer boxing. So look, let's break this down, guys, and let's chat about this because I'm sure you guys want to hear the juicy context to all of this. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Shiraz. I'm your host. This is Duality 7X. This is where we break down all the latest, greatest stories and anything that's relevant in the world of combat sports, culture, controversy, especially when it relates to MMA, WWE, UFC, and boxing. And guys, I try to cover as much of it as I can, including all the latest breakdowns with fights and no fluff, no fillers, no fight biasness, guys. Honestly, I try to talk from more of a neutral perspective, but it's your thoughts and comments that I love reading the most. So if you guys like this kind of content, please smash a like and subscribe and hit the notification so you guys never miss a beat. So let's get into this story, guys. Enough of the formalities. Oh my gosh. Andrew Tate and Sneako. Wow. So just to give you a little context, Sneako claims that Andrew Tate offered him $1 million to fight him sometime later this year, right? And at first, when I was reading this, I mean, it sounded like, typical kind of like online back and forth between two, pretty big social media influencers. And, really just another viral moment, perhaps, maybe kind of, obviously anything. Usually whenever social media influencers call one another out, it's quite polarizing and it does bring a lot of media or shall I say social media hype, to the whole equation, right? But these internet figures have been circling each other ever since that infamous kind of Miami stream fallout, right? And now it's kind of escalated. There was a lot of things that Andrew Tate said I wasn't happy with. My emotions kind of got the best of me. If you saw my video, I actually told Andrew Tate I'll fight Andrew Tate. I would love to love to get in the ring with him or someone of equivalence, but most likely him. That's because I was just really wound up. I was he just said a lot of hurtful things about different countries, about different kinds of ethnicity, like different ethnic groups and people, and he almost had that very chauvinistic kind of an approach. I didn't like it. That's not the Andrew Tate I remember. Hearing some of his things from the past and things that he said. He was always he always kind of carried a lot of controversy around him. But he did try to talk about the power of positivity, being better, try to strive for, being better and try to be the best that you can be. essentially, right? In all aspects of life. But lately, he's really calling out people, calling out ethnic groups, calling out, and almost, he's very pompous, very arrogant, and he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder. I don't know why. His brother seems like a really cool guy, and then you got Andrew Tate, who's just honestly very, very unhinged. Now, that said, Sneako is, he's been around. He does his thing. Controversy follows Sneako as well too. But Sneako's a pretty big influencer, and he's found a niche for himself. And now for these guys were in the same vicinity of one another, and they were at an event, and there was a lot of other big social media influencers that were there as well too, and yeah, things just kind of from words to disagreeing on opinions. Things started to kind of escalate from that point. And now Sneako posted like screenshots, text messages. Yeah, so I mean, but now it's escalated. So I mean, so Sneako posted these screenshots like of text messages, with Misfits Boxing CEO Mams Taylor, messages that were essentially labeled private, confidential. So I mean, anyone who has half a brain, when you get that kind of text or you get that kind of email or any kind of correspondence that says private, confidential, keep it private and confidential. If Andrew Tate were to send me information, text messages, or any kind of correspondence, he wants to talk to me and he's like, hey, keep this private, I'm going to keep it private. I'm going to give respect where respect is due. And I'm sure he would do the same. I'm not sure why Sneako would leak it. And if this is for content, I mean, honestly, I don't know if this is real good content, but to leak stuff like that, because I mean, there's things that are said between one another, and certain things, I guess you could air for your streams or for content for your channels, your platforms, what have you. But certain things you kind of want to keep private, right? Until things kind of come to fruition, and then when they're not so private anymore, and I'm sure at that point both parties would agree what's private, what's not. I mean, that's a different story. But certain things need to be kept private and confidential. So despite that request, he released them anyway, right? So I'm not going to say whether that's right or wrong. I mean, I don't know the full context of those text messages and what all was said between these two guys, but there are little bits and pieces that I was able to gather. And I mean, look, the fact that he released them, that alone tells you that this isn't just like a negotiation. This is almost kind of like leverage, perhaps, maybe that Sneako's trying to have one over on Andrew Tate. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting because, I mean, like, according to these leaked text messages, here's what's on the table, right? So, $1 million, we talked about that, guaranteed purse for Sneako. Guaranteed. Okay? So, when I read that, anything, whatever happens in the ring, I don't know if there's like a time limit or something that indicates that if he gets knocked out within 30 seconds, then that doesn't count or whatever. No, it's guaranteed, no matter what. I mean, I think literally if he steps into the ring, and then as soon as the announcer sounds off and the bell rings, he could technically just fall flat on the canvas. I think he's got a guaranteed $1 million purse. I don't know, but that's crazy. Anyhow, then there's some back-end revenue potential. Now, here's what I'll kind of provide some clarity on this. When I talk about back-end revenue potential, we're talking about a potential of $250,000 to $500,000 in sponsorship opportunities, guys. That's big freaking money, right? So Sneako keeps 100% of the sponsorship revenue. Okay. Now, this fight can happen either in the US or it can happen in Dubai, right? There's full promotional obligations, obviously, press conference, pressers, weigh-ins, interviews, open workouts. But in addition to that, Sneako will also get 2 business class flights plus 3 economy flights, 4 hotel rooms plus 1 luxury suite. Okay. So I'm assuming if this fight happens in Dubai, then it's going to happen in that kind of setting, and it's going to be all grand and nice. And I'm not sure about whether or not that stuff applies with the U.S. I don't know, but look, this is not some like backyard influencer type of exhibition. I mean, this contract is legitimate, and it's structured like a very promotional package. So I mean, Andrew Tate Andrew Tate coming into this new venture with Misfits Boxing wants to clean up a lot of things. There's a lot of things that made him unhappy. He wants to kind of provide a little bit more context, clarity to kind of how things are done, operationally speaking, and on a management level as well too, right? So administratively, management, operational. He wants to be able to make sure that Misfits Boxing is making hand over fist money. Obviously, that's what every CEO, any stakeholder, anyone with any kind of invested interest would want, right, for their organization. So, I mean, yeah, this is the way this package, the way this fight is structured. This is not some like backyard influencer. Here, I'm gonna write something down on the back of like a cardboard box on a Sharpie, and let's figure this out. No, this is like structured legitimately, and I'm sure there's lawyers involved. But there's one major caveat, the one major issue: the weight. The weight still has to be determined. So this is a massive factor, guys, because Andrew Tate is a professional fighter. He's got years of kickboxing experience. He is gifted. He's got a body of a 25-year-old athlete. Like, he can get into the ring and he could really make somebody's day really, really bad. All right. And Sneako is completely opposite of that, right? So there's this obvious physical kind of size disparity between the two fighters, and so naturally, Sneako would be considered to be a very heavy underdog, right? So, I mean, where this gets interesting is that if Sneako agrees to the terms and wins, he'll also get $2 million for a rematch. Now, that's not accidental, guys. All right. That's incentive-based structuring. All right. I mean, this is a promotion hedging risk while creating storylines on the upside. I'm telling you guys, this is if there's any kind of like promotional type of hedging, this is it. If Sneako does and accept the terms, pulls off the upset, then you've instantly built a redemption type of narrative worth doubling the money, and people are going to want to see that. Okay? It's a very, very smart business tactic. Very smart business, guys. I mean, it signals things obviously a lot bigger. Misfits Boxing understands that this isn't just about like skill parity or anything along those lines. I mean, it's really about narrative tension. Okay? Both of these guys are mega influencers. Andrew Tate, as I mentioned, professional athlete, professional kickboxer. He's done incredibly well for himself as a fighter. He's got so many accolades, one can't even count. Okay, he keeps himself in fantastic shape. For somebody with his age, and look, he's got a great life, a great life, and he's a big time mega influencer. Everybody knows Andrew Tate's name. Everybody, from presidents to kings to the common whatever, everybody all around the world happens to know Andrew Tate's name. Now, I don't know if everybody knows Sneako's name, but Sneako's up there too. He's a big time influencer. And so we're talking a lot of money here at stake, and it's going to bring in a lot of media hype, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm just a guy with 5,000 subscribers. I mean, I don't think Andrew Tate's got any interest in guys like me. But, I mean, guys like Sneako now, and because of the lead up to this and the things that escalated between these two guys, in Miami and what have you, people are starting to follow this online. People are it's starting to gain a lot more traction, and people are actually saying, hey, you know what? Let's see these guys fight. I want to see this. I think this is good. Because if this fight doesn't happen on Misfits Boxing, guaranteed, Aiden Ross will probably try to book Sneako to fight someone else. And probably even for the same amount of money. So either way, something big is going to happen, guys, right? And so look, let's just zoom out here for a second, okay? We're talking about, scale parity, narrative tension. We're talking about promotional type of hedging. We're talking a lot of big words here, right? But I mean, let's look at the bigger picture of what this fight actually represents, right? And so, this fight isn't necessarily about rankings, okay? There's no belts involved, no sanctioning bodies, and it's not even really about boxing as per se, right? This is more about monetizing digital controversy. Who is the biggest of the biggest when it comes to influencing, right? When I think of big time mega media influencers, I think of Jake Paul, Logan Paul, his brother. I think of iShowSpeed, Mr. Beast. I mean, these are the guys that I've got. And then, I mean, there's a lot of other guys. There's Aiden Ross, there's Neon, there's Sneako, there's Tate, there's, I mean, I don't know if you guys know a lot of these names, but these guys are big, right? They're big. And so, and I mean, there's a whole list of others, I mean, that are just like right there, that are absolutely killing it, right? They're doing absolutely well, right? So, everybody, though, wants to have kind of like the upper hand, right? Or they want to be known as the best of the best. When I think of all-time greatest, I mean, I'm gonna say it's Mr. Beast, and I'm gonna say right underneath that Mr. Beast is like iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed, this guy's phenomenal, and he's very gifted. He's very talented. He's got athletic capabilities. He's proven himself time and time again. iShowSpeed would be if iShowSpeed and like Andrew Tate were to fight, oh my gosh, or iShowSpeed, I think would be probably the strongest out of all those guys. Oh, and then there's Jake Paul. There's Jake Paul. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, these guys are forces to be reckoned with, and these guys have fought, okay? Controversy aside, circumstances aside, let's call it as it is. Not many people get the opportunity to fight legends like Floyd Money Mayweather, Mike Tyson, like Ben Askren. Like, it goes on and on and on, guys. Like, I mean, big time names, like a lot of people are not giving credit where credit is due. Jake Paul took on Anthony Joshua. Do people even realize, like, the balls, like the fortitude that somebody would have to go against a guy like Joshua? Joshua is, okay, there's these heavyweight fighters are in a class of their own. Joshua, Usyk, Fury, and I'm talking about like all active fighters, right? Chisora, Dubois, like all of these guys are dangerous wrecking crews, right? I mean, forgive me if I missed any names. I'm not. I mean, there's Franklin, there's Wardley. I mean, there's so many fighters, guys. Honestly, I could go down the list. Any one of those guys, Wilder. I mean, there's another guy. I mean, any one of these guys would be absolutely like I don't even know. Like if it wasn't Anthony Joshua, if it was Andy Ruiz, if it was Chisora, if it was Franklin, if it was like whoever, Dubois, I would be like, holy crap, man. You got to give credit to Jake Paul because he's stepping into uncharted territory and guys who are bigger than him in stature, in size. Right? There was all this controversy about, Jake Paul wants to take on Gervonta Tank Davis, and there's like a 70-pound discrepancy between these fighters. Jake needs to pick on somebody his own size. Jake is a cruiserweight. He's a natural cruiserweight. The guy is most comfortable and natural at, I would say, about 190 to about 195, 200 pounds. Okay. So that kind of borders like your light heavyweight but he's not a heavyweight. Although he can fight heavyweights, he's not heavyweight. Um, he could be. He could be a heavyweight, but I don't think that's his. Like, I think he's comfortable at his weight and at his size, and for Jake Paul to go in there against a bigger dude, well, Jake Paul definitely picked on somebody not, and he didn't pick on somebody his own size yet again. He picked on somebody even bigger than him, and he lasted 6 rounds. Yeah, I mean, some controversy in that as well too. But you know what? He landed some shots. He got in there and he danced around a little bit. He got knocked out. I mean, but he took it. And now he's going to live to fight another day. Because if you guys just watched my last video, I was talking about the possibility of Ryan Garcia or maybe even Canelo Alvarez. I think Ryan Garcia's got other plans right now, and he's kind of focusing on the bigger picture. He's chasing belts right now. He's taking on Mario Barrios. That's coming up actually on the 21st of February. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Can't wait to cover that. But the bigger conversation surrounding Jake Paul right now is potentially fighting Canelo Alvarez, guys. He even called out Terrence Crawford, but Crawford's subsequently retired. But, I mean, if that fight happens between Paul and Canelo, holy crap, guys, that's going to be insane. And these guys have been beefing for a long, long time. So this is not just like picking random people and throwing stuff to the wall, whatever sticks. Hey, I'm gonna go with that. No, these guys have been beefing, and there's been a lot of choice words said, exchanged between these two guys. But enough about Jake and Canelo and Garcia and all these guys. Let's get back to what we're talking about here. But I mean, Andrew Tate is a legitimate bona fide fighter. All right. I mean, yeah. Even if I were to fight this guy, it probably wouldn't last long. All right. I want to be confident. I want to be optimistic. This guy's, he's got a lot of skill, and you got to give him credit for that. Okay. So, if Sneako wants to fight this guy, he's going to have to train extra hard, and he's going to have to get prepared, but they're going to have to really figure out this whole weight thing, because there's a serious discrepancy when it comes to weight, size, and all the other things that go into getting prepared for a fight, which I've covered a lot extensively on my channel, and it's not fun, especially when you have to cut or make weight, increase weight. It's not easy, guys. Not easy at all. Anyhow, Andrew Tate's previous fight, it required Misfits to kind of temporarily step outside their DAZN exclusivity. I always love to say DAZN. It just rolls off my tongue, but some people just don't like that. But yeah, DAZN. But anyways, Andrew Tate's presence moves numbers, and that's why networks like DAZN and a whole bunch of others love these kind of fights, because that's what brings people into the fray. Sneako, he brings online volatility, right? He's engaged a lot with the youth, and he's got that, market share. So together, the algorithms would probably go right off the fringe, and it'd be bouncing off the walls. But it'd be quite chaotic and quite lovely as well too. It's influencer boxing at its best, evolving into cultural warfare type content, and I think it's packaged as combat sports, right? And this is why this matters, and this is why we're covering it here on this channel. So my honest perspective about this whole jazz is that if the $1 million offer guaranteed is real, I'll take it. If Sneako doesn't want it, I'll take it. But and the text suggests that it is. Then Sneako is facing a decision technically between pride and really his positioning in within his career and where he is as an influencer. Because once you start posting private and confidential correspondence and text messages publicly, then you really change the dynamic. I get a lot of messages. I talk to a lot of different other folks, people online, other social media influencers, guys who cover combat sports. and I have like little conversations with these guys, through email, through text, and all of it I keep private. I keep private. I mean, maybe one day when I link up with one of these guys, we do like a live stream together or what have you. That's a different story. But I mean, I don't leak messages. I mean, there's sometimes we get into like little debates about fights or fighters, and sometimes we don't always agree with one another. But that doesn't mean I go out there and start airing out this stuff on social media, and neither do the people that I'm speaking with. There's this kind of almost professional camaraderie, as so to speak, when it comes to when it comes to this. And I mean, I think that's just professional. You don't do that in the workplace. You don't do that anywhere. If you have a conversation with a family member or a friend, and it's in confidence, you don't go hang up the phone and go call somebody up and say, "Hey, guess what? I heard." I mean, if you do, then you're kind of a douche. But anyways, you guys get the point, right? So I mean, you gain leverage through your audience, okay? But you could also lose, right, leverage in negotiation. Remember this. Now, as for Tate, offering $1 million tells me that he wants this fight. He wants this fight. And he sees an opening here and he wants to capitalize on it, and he's throwing some big money at it. And look, promotions don't offer that kind of guarantee unless and of course they believe it's going to sell. Right? So the real question comes down to whether or not this is actually going to happen, because really the ball now, the ball is in Sneako's side of the court. Now Sneako just has to decide, is it going to be a forehand return? Is it going to be a backhand? Is he going to lob it? What's he going to do? The ball's in his court. Sneako's got to hit back now, and he's got to hit back fast, because I'm sure those contracts come at some kind of deadline, some kind of stipulations, caveats surrounding the whole time sensitive aspect of it all, right? So I mean, Sneako knows he's definitely the underdog in all this, but I mean, he could be walking into the biggest payday of his life, and it's very hard to make money, especially when a lot of us are not even monetized or trying to get monetized, or we're trying to just earn a living, trying to make something of ourselves, on these platforms. I mean, Sneako's done well. He's obviously earned income, but this is life-changing income for him, right? So anyhow, I want to close with this. My question comes down to does Sneako take the $1 million? Is this real, like, promotional jargon? Like, is it actually, do you guys actually think this is going to happen? Or do you think this is just viral marketing to put Misfits on the map and to put Tate and Sneako in the public eye so that people continue to follow them, hype them up, and keep them trending on social media? Algorithms love people that trend, right? So if this fight happens, my other question comes down to who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win? Drop your predictions and thoughts and comments below. I'm waiting for Amit Sehgal. He's got a lot. He always has some really good in-depth analysis and understanding, and he always brings a different whole perspective when it comes to Andrew Tate. And so I want to hear what Amit has to say. And I want to. Essentially, I'm all ears, guys. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this one. If this fight actually happens, are you guys going to tune in to watch it? And look, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see what happens. But look, if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. It totally helps with the algorithm. Helps us out a lot. Obviously, it gives us the opportunity to continue to pump out some of this fantastic content that we try to do on a day-to-day basis for you guys. But definitely make sure you smash the notifications as well so that you guys never miss a beat. And let's help this video try to reach more heights, try to reach more fight fans, and let's get it going viral, because if it goes viral enough, then guess what, guys? Sneako doesn't want to take that opportunity. Andrew Tate might say, you know what? Who's this Duality 7X dude? I want to talk to this guy. But, we got to get it going viral in order for that to happen. So thanks for sticking around, guys. And look, as usual, I look forward to catching you guys same time tomorrow. Don't be late. We'll see you guys later.